Don't throw your soft plastics in the water because this is what will happen. This is a Reactions Innovations Sweet Beaver 4.2, and this is a Reactions Innovation Sweet Beaver 4.2 that was hung on a tree in Lake Guntersville for a significant amount of time probably. But this is the same exact bait. And when you throw this bait in the water, this is what it will turn into. Now, this is the exact same bait. I've counted the little ribs on there. They each have 15 ribs. Same bait, and I'm pretty sure it's the same color. Green pumpkin red, watermelon red, green pumpkin red, watermelon red. You can see the little red flakes in there. Lighter on this side, lighter on this side, darker on this side. But it's the same bait, and you see the size, what happens to a bait, soft plastic that falls in the water. And then if a fish eats that, or if he eats one when it's this size, and then it turns to that, could be really bad. That's not going to biodegrade. Now, they do make a few soft plastics that do biodegrade. I think a company named Biospawn is one of them. Berkeley Gulp. I've used Berkeley Gulp before. It works really well when you're using it. The downside of Berkeley Gulp for me, from a fishing standpoint, was that bait would actually start hardening while it was on your hook. And if you didn't use it for a while, it almost seemed like the biodegrading process was happening right then and there. So not the most efficient tool, but again, we can't do this and expect that a fish is not going to come up and eat it. You know, the same thing with soft plastic stick baits. We've all fished a Cinco. We know when you cast it out and you just dead stick it, you get a lot of bites that way. It's the same with one of these too. You can just leave it there, and a lot of times they will pick it up. Fishing slow typically is always better for getting bites. So just because it flew off your hook doesn't mean, well, they're not going to bite it. It's not moving. Nah, they're still going to bite it. They're still going to try to eat it, and they'll probably swallow it, and then who knows what happens. So that's one of those things when I even see professional fishermen catch a fish, take the bait off, and throw it in the water. It just really blows my mind because it's ignorant and we can't litter. Now, there are a couple new baits out there, new little tweaks to your baits, like the Floatzilla, which that's a little piece of plastic that goes into the end of your worm, makes your worm float up. I don't necessarily think that's too bad. I think that's all right. You know, if you think about it, it floats. It's a little tiny piece of plastic. You know, one Gatorade or Mountain Dew bottle goes flying out of your boat is like equivalent 100 Floatzillas. So, not the end of the world. I've always wondered about those little blades. If you haven't seen that, there's like a screw in that you screw it into the back of your worm, or the tail of your worm rather, and it has like a Colorado or a willow leaf on it. It's a pretty good technique. I've seen it done. I've never used it, but I've had guys fishing in my boat and that I've caught a bunch of fish, and I got to witness that. I've always wondered about those. It seemed like they always flew off once you caught a fish. So there's a few things that I haven't known forever, but I do know now that you don't want to throw your soft plastics in the water, and we want to keep these lakes as pristine and as clean as we possibly can. We don't want to litter, and we definitely don't want to litter unintentionally because we don't know better. So let's try to keep our lakes and rivers as clean as we possibly can. Soft plastics, throw them in the bottom of the boat, and if you're a clean freak, when you get off the water at the end of the day, throw them out. I usually clean my boat before every tournament, and that's typically the only time, but don't throw it back in the lake, guys. So thank you for watching this video. Good luck to you guys, and I'll see you on the water.